All right, a breaking news development coming in from London, connected with the violence that took place against the Hindu community. Protests are underway outside the Guardian newspaper office over its coverage on the riots in United Kingdom's Leicester and Birmingham. They are against Guardian for linking Hindutva to the riots, while it was the Hindu community and the temples that took the brunt of the rioters and the mobsters, as could be seen from the pictures. These protesters from the community are carrying out these placards outside the Guardian office. For more, let's go to Ankit. He's joining me from our newsroom in Mumbai. Ankit, over to you. What more details can you share about these protests taking place against the broadsheets coverage of the violence against the community in Leicester and Birmingham?
Absolutely. This is a protest, Abhishek, that's ongoing outside the Guardian's office by a number of Hindus who have gathered there, who are very hurt because the Guardian, in an op-ed piece, has equated them with extremists and made them out to be the reason for the violence and the threats and the intimidation that they are themselves the victims of. That is the breaking news at the moment. We have seen a number of articles, a lot of coverage by a number of these so-called reputed Western media, British media outlets that have been completely hackneyed, that have been completely biased, and they have not gotten to the bottom of what exactly the Hindu community there in the UK has been facing ever since that match between India and Pakistan that then spiraled into a number of other things. On the other hand, Abhishek, we've seen how we have accessed videos of how a number of the actual aggressors here, members of the Muslim community there in the UK, they had assembled outside temples in Birmingham, at Leicester as well, and they had surrounded and garroted it. And then on top of that, after making these intimidatory, these hate speech remarks against Hindus there, they tried to cloud it in the garb of protesting against Modi and the RSS and so on and so forth. It's a tried and tested method. We've also seen, you had broken details of it yourself, how the UK's new Home Secretary had called them out for what they are and what they were doing, which is thuggery. That is the word that she had used. But the UK media appears to be peddling a completely different narrative. And from what can be made out at the protest, the Hindu community members who are there at the Guardian's office seem to be very hurt by what is being said about them. That is what's going on there, Abhishek, at the moment.
Right, Ankit. Let me, on that note, go to Ratan Sharda. He joins us over the phone. Ratan Sharda, the events that panned out in the United Kingdom pertaining to attacks on Hindu community, that was one aspect. The other aspect was the media coverage and the manner in which they were presented to the people there, and the spin that was given. Now protests are happening outside the Guardian newspaper office. You think this is a new voice being found by the Hindu community, which was targeted and unfairly so by another community from other country, and we are seeing Hindus making themselves heard in the United Kingdom?
Hindus have been around as a very influential community in UK for a long time, but they're very genteel people, known for their discipline, known for their hard work, and known for their dedication to the local society. Despite this, the leftist Islamist alliance, which has again shown their true color in UK, they have again tried to, besmirch their image and also try to actually insult the community for their wonderful work done in UK and support the Islamists that is being exposed. So naturally, Hindus are hurt and they are ready to come on the street and to protest. But you must differentiate the way they have responded to this, in their own way. That should give some kind of intelligence and some kind of sense to this biased leftist media supporting the Islamist violence, that this is how Indians are. They will protest, but they will at the same time, they will maintain law and order, and they will also not try to take law into their own hands, nor will they turn violent. So at least now that left media should realize.
Mr. Sharda,
peddling up, yeah.
It still shows that it's a very strong left liberal ecosystem there, which is not willing to see the truth as it exists on the ground.
Liberal. What is liberal about them? They are the most illiberal people. They have no empathy. They have no sense. They have intolerant attitude, and they believe only their view is right, every other view is wrong. So they are not liberal at all. They are the more intolerant, and they should be called fascists rather, because they are not siding with the persecuted people. They are not siding with the minority. They are siding with violent people. So they are not liberal at all. And this agenda is going across the world.
They are not liberal, they are siding with violence, they are not willing to see the truth as it exists on the ground, and that is the reason why the Hindu community was forced to carry out these protests. You think this should be continued and in some manner taken to a logical conclusion in terms of making sure that the Guardian apologizes or reflects the other side of the event episode as well?
Genuinely interested in peaceful society, that they should desist from such a biased attitude and such a attitude which actually supports the violent community.
Yeah, they are supporting the violent community, Ratan Sharda, but at the same time it seems that we did not work enough as a nation to impress upon the administration there that what was happening on the ground was really unwarranted and the police should not have been standing by, and Guardian being one of the institutions of the United Kingdom, not willing to see the cause of the people there. Do we need to work in a concerted manner to make sure that these kind of events, episodes do not happen next time?
I expressed my view earlier also that the Indian High Commissioner was very late in responding. Its first response came 2 weeks after what is happening. So in a place like UK, where, and plus the way the propaganda was done, I think the Indian High Commissioner was rather belated in its reaction. So everybody must rise to stop this kind of bias and highly biased and insulting, reporting of Hindus, and realizing what Hindus have contributed to the UK society in terms of education, business, professionalism, and even politics. People should appreciate their role rather than trying to demean them and demonize them.
Absolutely. In fact, Ratan Sharda, Rajat Sethi also joins us over the phone. Rajat, you know, whatever happened there on the ground, it was sort of a double whammy that the victim is victimized again by way of presenting a picture of the aggressors, in fact, by the newspapers like Guardian, and that is why these protests are happening and we are getting those pictures. But what can be done really to make sure that this kind of double victimization does not happen of the community there in United Kingdom?
Well, the way events have unfolded over the past couple of weeks is alarming for the entire Indian diaspora living in various countries. We are seeing that the fundamentalists who are outside the country are trying to use their connections deep into the editorial chambers of prominent papers to influence and color the facts on the ground, and they have been able to systematically do that. I think the opinion that is shaping up within the country also is there has to be a zero tolerance, no nonsense approach to this. We must learn from the Jewish community how they all come together and ensure that any kind of a specific community targeting or a phobic attack on them is responded from the entire state's might, from the might of all the influence that we carry globally. Everybody should have a concerted effort towards not allowing even a single incident to go uncalled, unquestioned, the way that happened in UK. And I think there are tremendous learnings. The future of Indian diplomacy is going to be different. It has to be pivoted and anchored around safeguarding our diaspora, ensuring that every single Indian is standing behind them, and ensuring their safety is our safety. And that equality in the safety of pursuits of both Indians within and Indians outside should be the state's objective, a stated objective.
Right, Rajat. In fact, that's an important point that you make, that diaspora safety is concern for everyone here as well. Manjinder Singh Sirsa joins us over the phone. Mr. Sirsa, you have worked concertedly on getting the Afghan Sikhs and Hindus back to India. And in the United Kingdom episode, the pictures speak for themselves. We have seen the temples being targeted, we have seen temples being vandalized, and yet a picture was sought to be created in the media that the Hindu community was the aggressor. Now these protests are happening. Some say, like Ratan Sharda, that these are belated protests and that we should be making sure that next time the ecosystem is there, which takes care of this kind of media spin. You think we can do something to make the community there on the ground stronger? And also, if you could tell us something about whether the Hindus and the Sikhs can come together to make sure that this kind of Islamist violence is responded to legally in the United Kingdom.
Definitely, first of all, there is no place for violence, may it be any other religion. But the way things are turning in England are a concern not for just Indians, but also for the people, maybe it be a Sikhs living across the world. We are all concerned about that. And I must apprise you about one situation which recently held in this England itself. The temporal authority, the highest temporal authority, Jethedar Akal Takht, were forced to give a statement in England while addressing a Sikhs there, that you should not sell your properties in India because things are getting worse here in England also, and days are not far when you will be forced to quit from this place as you have been forced from Afghanistan. So this was a big statement by Jethedar Akal Takht Sahib. And nowadays what we see is that kind of a media. There are few media houses. I do not know whether they are funded by those kind of people. Whenever we see their news coverage, it gives a different color to the actual situation which has happened on the ground. Now, if we talk about this, we recently, Leicester, everybody's aware what happened there. Everybody's aware who did it. Everybody's aware how the mandirs were vandalized there and the flag was removed from there, and that too in the presence of police. In spite of that, the way this newspaper has carried this news, and in fact blaming the majority of the people who are from a Hindu religion by saying कि इन लोगों के करने से हुआ, or something like the lines which they read. So today I feel that at least somebody is there who is taking up to the hand against the Guardian newspaper. So they should also be conscious in the future that we won't tolerate this kind of nuisance from any newspaper.